Welcome to Casey's Clubhouse series, Share Time, Not Germs. Today we present How to Explain Coronavirus to Children, starring Casey and his family. Casey's parents sat in the family room with their children, Mallory, who was 5, and Casey, who was 9. Their local schools, clubs, sporting events, and parks had been shut down to slow the spread of the coronavirus. Casey's mom and dad were both working from home, and the children were getting worried and confused. Between the daily news and social media, the word coronavirus was passed around as fast as the virus itself, so they decided they'd have to have a family meeting to help their children understand what was happening and how they could protect themselves and others. Casey's mother started. "So kids, we just got notified that your school will be closed for a while." "What? Why?" Casey asked. "Well," his father said, "there is a virus going around called the coronavirus, and it is easily spread from someone who has it to someone who doesn't. When we go to school, parks, and other activities, we have a chance of catching it and then spreading it ourselves. So, when we as a community stop going to those events, we slow down the spread of the illness." Mallory's eyes were wide. "Am I going to get it?" she asked. "Probably not," her mother said, "but we will handle it if you do. For you, it might feel a lot like a cold or a flu, which you've had before. It's uncomfortable, but you get better." Casey was confused. He said, "Well, if it's a lot like cold or flu, then why can't we go to school? We always go to school, even during the cold and flu season." "True, Casey," his father agreed, "but this time it's a new virus and it creates problems for lots of people, especially those that are older or have difficulties fighting viruses and other germs." "What do you mean, fighting it?" Casey asked. "Well," his mother said, "when your body notices a germ from the outside world, it usually knows what to do. For example, the flu virus is a germ that enters your body through your eyes, nose, or mouth. Your body knows how to fight back, though." She pointed at Casey's chest. "You've got a little army in there that gets rid of the invaders. That's why you cough, sneeze, and have fevers. Your body is fighting the foreign invaders." "But not everybody has a good army," his dad added. "As we get older, our army, which is called the immune system, gets weaker and makes it more difficult to get rid of the invaders." "Wait," Mallory said. "Nana is old. Is she going to have a hard time fighting it?" "Nana is older, and in order to help all the nanas and the papas, the grandmas and the grandpas, we need to work together as a community to stop spreading the virus," her dad said. "We can think about it as a community service. Limiting social contact is our way to protect our older citizens who have given so much to our community and have so much left to give. And it's not just older people who have difficulties fighting the virus," her mother added. "People with compromised immune systems or limited armies have difficulty too." "Like Sarah, our babysitter?" Casey asked. He noticed that she was never allowed to come over if anyone in the family was sick. His mother looked at him in surprise. "Yes, Casey, like Sarah," she explained. "Sarah has a limited army. She has a very difficult time fighting off germs like viruses. So this coronavirus could make her very sick. So again," his father offered, "we need to do our part to protect the Nanas and the Sarahs in our world." His expression was solemn, but he did have a little smile on his face. "We can do that with social distancing, which is staying at least 6 feet apart. The best way to do that is to avoid big groups. That's what we're doing by canceling big events where people gather, like schools, clubs, and parks. Those of us who can work from home should," his mom added. "And there are some personal behaviors we can do too." "Like?" Casey asked. "Well, we should all wash our hands with soap for 20 seconds several times a day," his mother answered. That's how long it takes to sing the ABC song or Happy Birthday to You twice. I can do that, Mallory said as she rubbed her hands together. That's good, her mom said gently, but you have to make sure to get the whole thing. Start like that, then rub the back of your hands with your fingers entwined like this. She demonstrated. Then rub the back of your fingers and fingernails against the fingers of your other hand like so. Mallory giggled. It's like you're scraping off paint. Her mom nodded, exactly like that. Then she bunched up her fingers and started rubbing the palm of her hand. Then you have to make sure you really clean your palm like this. Like a bird trying to get a seed, Mallory said. And don't forget your thumbs, their father added, pointing both thumbs up. They're sometimes forgotten. Poor thumbs, Casey said as he turned his thumbs from up to down. His mother chuckled. And then remember, if we are in a public place, after you wash your hands, use a paper towel to dry them, and then use the paper towel to turn off the water and open the door. Their father was nodding. And then try really hard not to touch your face with your hands too, he said. I touch my face all the time, Casey said as he scratched an itch on his nose. Most of us do, Casey, his mother agreed, but we usually pick up germs on our hands and then transfer them to our face by touching it. So we need to use a tissue when we touch our face, and certainly when we cough or sneeze. If you don't have a tissue when you cough or sneeze, use the vampire sneeze. The what? Casey said. The vampire sneeze. His mother demonstrated by bringing her arm up to her face and pretend sneezing into her elbow. Achoo! Then she demonstrated coughing into it. Just like a pretend vampire would drape his cape across his body. I know vampires aren't real, Casey said. I know, she said and laughed. Their father added, it's important for us to know that we transfer germs to all sorts of things, like our doorknobs, salt shakers, and toys. So we need to wipe those surfaces down, too. I'm scared, Mallory said as she leaned on her mother. Casey looked from Mallory to his parents. Should we be scared? He asked. You don't need to be scared, but you might feel that way anyway. I'm not here to tell you how to feel, their mother said. The truth is that this is all different for you, for all of us really. But we need to do our part by social distancing, washing our hands, keeping our hands away from our face, cleaning commonly used surfaces, covering a cough or sneeze with a tissue and then discarding them, and staying home when we feel sick. Then everyone will benefit. These changes are new, but they are only for a short period of time. We promise to take care of you. We are your parents, and we want you to be informed, but we also want you to know that as adults, we can handle the worry for our family. Their dad leaned forward and added, when we all work together, not just our family, but the whole world, we make a big difference. We are all on the same side when it comes to this virus. Stop the spread. Their father did a punch in the air and said, "Hooray!" Do you have any questions? Their mom asked. Both Casey and Mallory shook their heads no. Then their mother stood up and said, "Then I think the best way for us to end this conversation is to go wash our hands together as a family and then give an air high five." They all laughed, got up, and went to the sink to wash their hands for 20 seconds. Thank you for joining us. Casey's Clubhouse supports Casey's clubs around the area by providing social skills-based curriculum. Go to our website to find out more.